Hello everybody, and welcome to round 4 of the FIA Motocross World Championship, MXGP. Of course, we're in a wonderful setting that is Patagonia, Argentina. And on our studio show today on MXGP TV, we have Alexander Tonkov.
Hello.
We have Shaun Simpson coming up a little later on as well. And as always, Lisa Leyland joins me. Lisa, back in Europe, 5 minutes, and we're back long hauling over here again. You pleased to be back here, though?
Yeah, last year was one of my favourites. You had the crowd, the fans were incredible, and the racing, good racing, and the scenery is just beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Perfect.
Absolutely breathtaking, and we've been spoilt with some great sunsets as well. But Alexander Tonkov, Wilvo Standing Constructor Yamaha, is waiting to talk to us now. But really quickly, Alex, second time here, you looking forward to it as well?
Yeah, for sure. It's such a beautiful place. I always like to come here. Last year was the first time. The track is amazing. The ground a little bit strange, but the jumps and all the rest, it's really beautiful, and it's really nice to racing.
All right. Well, look, we'll listen to more about what Alex has to say in just a moment. But before we do that, let's recap what happened. 2 weeks ago now in the MXGP of Europe. Here's highlights from MX2 Race 2. Much brighter and calmer conditions greeted the riders at the start of MX2 Race 2. Jeffrey Hurlings, the Bullet, getting a flying start, pulling his second foxhole shot of the year. As Freddie van der Vlis went down at turn 1. Alexander Tonkov got out the gate in second, Patrell third. But it was Hurlings who started to streak clear. Undefeated around here in the last 6 years, and halfway to making it 7 in a row, Hurlings was already far away from the rest as they battled over second, and it was an intense battle as well, headed up by the 59 of Tonkov. Jonas made this massive pass to get himself in a second, leaving Tonkov then, the 59, to fight over third, and what a battle it was as well. Valandrum was in there, so too Patrell, Brent Van Donnick, Jeremy Seward, and Petar Petrov. Valandrum went through briefly, got himself into third, but then Tonkov rebounded, and the two went bar to bar for a couple of laps before Valandrum eventually made his pass stick. But it was craziness to the highest order. Positions changing every corner, every lap. Tonkov hanging on in there in fourth. Seward just behind him, then Petrov. The two Yamahas of Brent Van Donnick, Benoit Patrell, side by side, bar to bar. Until this moment, Petrov went down, caught the rear wheel of Seward. Brent Van Donnick ran into the back of him, and it blew the battle wide open. Seward then got into third with that pass on Tonkov. But staying out of trouble, the 41 of Jonas and the 84 of Jeffrey Hurlings, already celebrating in front of the home fans, en route to making it 14 wins in the last 7 years. Jeffrey Hurlings also reached a milestone here this weekend by winning his 50th career Grand Prix victory. His teammate Jonas was second, Jeremy Seward was third, and Hurlings continues to lead after round 3. That was Valkenswaard 2 weeks ago, of course, and Alexander Tonkov featuring in both races that weekend. And Alex, as we said, Valkenswaard a couple of weeks ago, you seemed to be riding okay. Overall, the speed was there, but you didn't seem to have the luck. Is that how it feels for you?
I think it was not so much about the luck. I was really excited about the race because it's the home race for my team, And last year I had a pretty good results there, and I was working really hard for that race. And week before I get a pretty bad sickness, On the comment it looks like Ben has the same. So I was really feeling bad, all week. I was sleeping and have fever and everything. I was not allowed to ride before all the week, and then on the race weekend I feel also pretty bad. After Saturday I have no energy left for Sunday, and I still try to do my best, but first motor crash in the water, came back, I think, I don't know, 10 or something like that. And second motor was pretty okay, but on the last lap I have some technical problem. But it is what it is.
Could have been better.
Yeah.
Yep. And how are you settling in with the new team and on the Yamaha?
I really like the new team, it was not a difficult transaction, because I have my mechanic with me, that Vilvo came also in the team, who was the last 2 years with me with Husqvarna, so my brother working again with me, so it kind of feels like home, so that was not so difficult, but I really enjoying time with the new team, and it's so fun, it's a good atmosphere.
What about the beginning of the season then? Qatar, 5th and 7th, 7th overall. Considering you've made a podium there in terms of motos, were you disappointed with how it started, or is that where you expected to be, maybe, considering a change of manufacturer?
It's a long season,
Yeah.
You cannot be disappointed with to be like top 3 overall after, 2 races, So a little bit disappointed how went Valkenswaard, because I expect complete different race, but that sickness get me. I'm still not so good. I didn't ride after Valkenswaard, just did 1 day riding, but but I cannot say I'm disappointed. I think it's a good start. We're still testing, learning, and improving. We still have like almost 15 rounds to go. It's a long season.
But no problems in Thailand though, 2nd and 3rd. First podium as well?
Problems, yeah, I have little problems second motor, and also the first, the hit get me, but overall it was a good weekend, I didn't expect, because last year I almost died there, and because it was so bad, but this year we worked hard all winter, so I think that's pay off.
It was your first podium of the year, but were you relieved to get it so early on in the season?
I have no expectation about the podium. I just came and do what I have to do, But after the first moto, I know I can do it, because the speed was there and I feel great. So for sure, I expect after the first moto, but now we have to continue with that expectations.
But this was the second race. Nice little battle there in the end with Jonas. But how do you deal with everything there that weekend? Because obviously it's pretty hot. But you dealt with it pretty well, considering you come from a cold climate. I know you live in Europe now most of the year, but thoughts on that round?
I think it was the 3rd time already for me in Thailand, so we learn every time. But anyway, I cannot say it was easier or something. Every time you come there, it's hard like never been before. You think, So, but lucky this one it's already done, so we have many to go. But for me, this is one of the harder GP for sure, Thailand.
Were you disappointed with Valkenswaard with not getting the podium? Especially, I know you like riding sand. I know you said about sickness, but was that one of the races where at the start of the season you look and you go, you know what, the calendar, for sure, I can take some big points there and maybe even get on the podium? Or
it's not something I look for one race, it's every race counts, but Valkenswaard, I know I can do good there because I live for 3 years already in Belgium, so I know how to ride sand pretty much. But this weekend was just not my weekend, But I'm happy we didn't lose so much, in our bad days. So I hope in our good days we're gonna gain back.
First time here, last year. You're looking forward to it again? It's a bit cooler though, isn't it?
It is a bit nippy, isn't it?
It's very cold.
But I like, when it's cold, because I'm coming from the cold, But yeah, we see we see how it turns up, because it's a little bit cloudy. I hope it's not gonna rain, and the track looks fun now, and I hope it stays like that, and some good racing comes.
Well, last year you did the second race, you're running 3rd, just behind Dylan Ferrandis, and then just around the first corner, you made a mistake. Is that a nature of the ground here that when you look at it, because the ground is so dark, it's difficult to see the holes? Did you catch something there, or was it hard underneath? Because a lot of riders, even though they like this track, one of the things they did say, sometimes it could be a little bit unpredictable.
Yeah, and I think the tracks from the outside looks much more fun than when you ride, the track. Because the ground is pretty sketchy, the bumps are really strange, and like you said, it's dark, and sometimes you don't really see the bumps, and it's not really like bumps, like a square holes, Also the jumps are pretty sketchy, so it's pretty technical track. You have to be careful, and I hope I learned something from last year. And the taste of the ground was good, but I didn't want to taste it again.
Does the altitude affect things here or not?
I feel a little bit, you know, it seems it's big jumps here, and you have to go pretty wide open, you know, to do it.
Okay. Right, we've got some social media questions for you. From Corrine Board, you work really hard. Imagine that if you could win in 2016, which track would it be on? The concentration on his face there.
This is the first time I've seen Alex serious.
and quiet.
I think it's not will be something about the track, you know, it's many tracks where I show good speed, you know, like Latvia, I show 2014 Nations, pretty good speed, you know, Majora, but this year I think we don't go Majora, yeah?
And Motocross of Nations.
Yeah, Motocross of Nations, so I'm looking forward for this race for sure. But I don't know, really. I would say Locket.
Yeah? Because it's hard pack and you prefer hard pack, or you just prefer that kind of...
But I think it was a mistake. I don't ride hard pack for a long time, so I have to choose something else. Mantova.
Mantova?
It's almost my home track, so I live for a long time in Italy and I stay only like 45 kilometers from the track, but Bader-Mannich place. So we train a lot there with him, and I hope it's gonna pay off.
All right.
Cool. Okay, another question. Paul Golding from the MX1 drinking team would like to know what was going through your mind when you were caught in the back of Tixier's wheel in Lyon.
2014.
Whoa. That's a bad story.
Yeah, because obviously, you know, for those who didn't watch it, of course, was it the first lap of the second race?
Yeah.
There was a bit of a collision, and he ended up in the rear wheel of Jordi Tixier's rear wheel and got dragged down the track. But scary, I would think, the first thought.
It was a bad moment for sure, you know, when you see the guy wide open and your wheel is in his wheel, and it's not the situation where you've been, you know. And I really didn't know what's gonna happen, or he gonna go with my hand in his wheel, or so I know I have to do something, you know. Luckily I didn't lost and I spent his bike, you know. So and then I can take my hand off, but it was a bad moment for sure. And the only thing I was thinking to save my hand, you know, because I see the sprockets, the brake disc, the pipes and the tires, you know, it was pretty tough, you know. But actually when I take my hand off, I see there was like something, you know, but I thought, okay, it's like a normal, you know, scratch, but it cost me like 4 or 5 months after, because we have to take the skin from my leg to put it on my hand because it didn't heal up. Also because I did motocross of nation and it get infection inside. So it was a difficult times for me.
But that's also because it was burnt as well. There were like first or second degree burns or something.
It was the biggest one. I don't know which one, because
Yeah,
in Russia
first.
we have different schedules, but it was bad one for sure. And the problem was because I was not allowed to do any training for a long time, because the skin has to heal and then you cannot sweat, you cannot do so many things. And it was the most important time in the winter when you have to do testing and working, prepare yourself. I came to Qatar with 10 times of riding on the bike, you know. So, but like this year it's different because I have a good base in the winter, and now I'm not really scary when I'm sick for 1 week, you know, because I know I have a good base behind me and I know I can ride the bike. So like I came to this race almost 2 weeks not training, but you know, I feel great. So, and I hope the sickness is away and I will feel okay.
All right, well, before we let you go, we are almost out of time. We are going back to Lyon next week, round 5. Looking forward to going back there. I know we were there last year as well, just before the US. So
I wasn't there last year, but
as in we were there, but you weren't.
yeah.
You're on holiday.
Yeah, that's true. But you know, the track seems fine, you know, it's fun and good jumps, big jumps, and I hear they worked a little bit last year. They make it better because 2 years ago it was sketchy some places, but it's nice, you know, it's a nice track, and it's also pretty nice city, you know. It's fun to go to Mexico. I like this city, or this country, I mean.
All right, well, look, we are out of time with Alexander Tonkov from Wilvo Standing Construct Yamaha, official MX2 team. But there's no competition this week. So just a quick reminder about the MXGP2 video game. So, as we said, no competition this week, but MXGP2, the brand new video game, is out now and available on PS4, Xbox One and PC. So, if you like your gaming, get yourself a copy now. And you can see from the game, as Lisa found out in Valkenswaard a couple of weeks ago, the graphics are very, very realistic, more so than they've ever been. Although Lisa's riding skills do leave a lot to be desired,
I think that was pretty good. Look at that.
But there you go. MXGP 2, the brand new video game, is out now. Right, Alexander Tonkov, thank you very much for joining us. We're going to meet Shaun Simpson, but before you disappear, let's see what happened at the MXGP of Valkenswaard 2 weeks ago. Here's some highlights from MXGP Race 2. Drop for MXGP Race 2. It was Antonio Cairoli who flew out of the start. The Red Bull KTM rider taking his first foxhole shot of the year. Tim Geiser behind him in second. But going down at turn 1, the 92 of Valentin. 4 or 5 corners into the race, Geiser was already up front. And looking to pull clear of the 222, Antonio Cairoli. Bob Brasheff went up track. Lost a couple of positions, one of them to Shaun Simpson, as Geiser and Cairoli battled towards the end of lap 1. The two Yamahas of Fevre and Van Hoorbeek were at it as well, as they fought over third place. Cairoli came round a corner, found Geiser on the deck. He threw away the lead on that Honda Garibaldi machine, and then had to work hard to get back on terms. 1 or 2 mistakes starting to creep in to the Slovenian's game. Fevre fell while trying to pass Cairoli for the lead. Lost out to his teammate Van Hoorbeek. Suddenly Fevre was in third. Simpson also fell from 8th down to 16th. The Scot would eventually get back to 9th. The second half of the race, though, started to go wrong for Geiser. Too many mistakes creeping in. He just had to bide his time. Just like Roman Fevre, who found himself right back on the rear wheel of Van Hoorbeek, his teammate. Koldenhoff wasn't too far away as well, and another mistake from Geiser. Eventually he came home in 8th place. The Yamaha battle had everybody on the edge of their seats, and with 2 laps to go, Fevre charged down the inside, and on the final lap, whittled down a 3-second advantage. Caught Tony Cairoli, made the pass at the bottom of the hill, and the Frenchman went on to win in emphatic style in race 2. Cairoli came home 2nd, Van Hoorbeek 3rd, Nagel 4th, Strybos was 5th. The overall Grand Prix, though, for the 2nd time this year, belonged to Roman Fevre. Nagel on the box for the 1st time this year in 2nd. But Roman Fevre extends his lead at the top of the MXGP point standings as we head to Patagonia, Argentina for round 4. Well, that was 2 weeks ago at Valkenswaard, the MXGP of Europe. But before we catch up with the Wilvo Virus Performance KTM rider, Shaun Simpson, a quick reminder of what's coming up at the end of the year in October. The Supermoto Cross Riders and Manufacturers Cup takes place at the Veltins Arena in Germany on October the 8th. Tickets are now on sale at our Easter special discounted rates, so go to mxgp.com. Look on the calendar. Below the Motocross and Nations, you'll see tickets for the event. Just go there, and hopefully we will see you there as well. Of course, Riders and Manufacturers Cup. So riders from both sides of the Atlantic are eligible to ride for the teams. So sounds pretty exciting prospect there. But Shaun Simpson is with us now. Shaun, welcome to Patagonia. When did you get here, first of all, and how are you enjoying the Patagonian Argentinian hospitality?
Yeah, it's been great so far. We arrived on Thursday afternoon, so pretty chilled. Went to the hotel, came to have a look at the track yesterday. A lot colder than it was last year.
Yeah.
Came decked, ready with the shorts and the t-shirts. No, didn't even have a jacket with me. I've had to borrow this one. So it's a little bit hopeful on that side, but Nice to come here. The track's obviously in great condition. A little bit different than it was last year. A little bit harder, a little bit firmer underneath. But the pits and the facilities we've got here behind us is just second to none. So it's great to come here and just sort of experience the whole culture and everything like that.
Well, you had a race in Belgium at the weekend at Worcester Weasel. How was that? How are you feeling coming into this one? Did everything go according to plan there?
Not exactly. Probably asking that question because it didn't go to plan last week, but
No.
I won the first race easy last week. Not so easy actually. I got pressured right towards the end with Kevin Strybos and Max Nagel being there. There was quite a good field. Second race, I was trying to pass for the lead on the first lap, stalled it, rookie error. Then somehow coming back through the pack on the first lap, someone managed to get their front brake lever caught in my race shirt and totally ripped my race shirt off. I was like,
You felt like Superman.
Yeah. Rode the rest of the race with my shirt flapping,
Oh,
and
nice.
I looked like Batman, so it wasn't ideal. But no, it was good. I just missed the podium, and it was nice to get another couple of starts under my belt since Valkenswaard, because wasn't really feeling up to 100% there, but I'm back feeling real good for this weekend, and then next weekend in Mexico, a podium there last year, so looking to have a good couple of weeks starting this weekend.
Well, we just saw highlights from Valkenswaard from a couple of weeks ago, just as you got onto the podium here. And but Valkenswaard didn't go that well for you. Not what you expected, not what we expected. And again, no podium pie for the Sandman in the sand at Valkenswaard. There's just some of the replay of the crash there. With what happened exactly? First lap, second race, first race.
Basically, I'd got off to a good start. We had a good qualification on Saturday, and just as I came into the ruts there, Philip Bengtsson was coming back alongside me. I thought, I don't need him, in my way as such or in front of me, and I just got off balance going into the ruts. DeSalle obviously guarded my bike there. Jake didn't see it and just drilled into it. So I actually broke my clutch perch. So my clutch lever was hanging right down on the bars the whole moto. So couldn't really use the clutch too much, and managed to come back from around 30th back to 10th, which was a good ride. I was riding strong, consistent, good lap times, and thought, okay, don't make the same mistake in the second one, and ended up on my ear twice, so wasn't ideal again. Fighting my way through the pack and then finishing up 9th.
At the British Championship the week before there at Ling, you had 2 second places to Tommy, and you said you were just riding tight, didn't feel like you were riding how you could ride. Was that a little bit the case as well at Valkenswaard, or was it just, just as we saw there, just 1 or 2 little errors?
In fact, there was a lot more going on. Since I come back from Thailand, basically I had a stomach virus and some sort of other virus. Didn't really get over it. Ling was a disaster. Just didn't really feel focused at all. I wasn't in good shape at all. Just wanted to sleep all the time. Had a little bit the same sort of symptoms as what Ben Townley's got at the moment. He's not obviously here this weekend, so I struggled a lot with it. Then after Ling, kind of felt like I was getting better. Then it's like I almost got a flu on top of that before Valkenswaard. I was back in my bed, didn't train all week, and then came out the weekend. Seemed to have enough reserves in the tank, but just wasn't my sharp as I could have been. And then just really tried to get over that, coming into this weekend here. Felt good last weekend and feeling good physically just now, so hopefully that's all behind us. It's been a tough 3 weeks though.
Yeah.
But are you generally pleased with how the season started for you? I mean, the first 2 rounds seemed okay.
Yeah, I would have liked a little bit more. Obviously, nice and consistent, which I've always been famous for. I want it to be a little bit more than that this year, but I think it's a long season, and I'm still in the hunt. I'm still only 15 or 18 points off of Tony, who I'm trying to chase there in the replay, and he's not obviously got off to what he thought was a great start to the year, but I think I've got some good tracks coming up for myself, and I think just keep the head down, keep putting in the hard work. My worst result at the moment's a 10th, so that's not by any means disastrous in comparison to what I've done in previous years. So no, I feel like anyone outside of the top 3 can just about scrape a podium. There's obviously Roman guys there, and a couple others that are there every week, but I think I'll start turning the screw a bit over the next couple of weeks, and I think we'll be back up inside the top 5 and hopefully scrape a podium.
How was the track? How was the track there at the first round?
It was good. I would say I preferred it the very first year we went. It seemed to be a lot more loamy. There was a lot more line choice and things like that, but this year it turned out to be a little bit just a little bit faster. On the race day it was okay. Same again in Thailand. It was quite difficult on the Saturday, but come the Sunday race day, they sort of prepped the track Saturday, knowing that on Sunday it was going to be real hot, humid, and we had to sort of take one on the chin on the Saturday with it being, quite rutted. But on the Sunday it turned out to be pretty good, really. So yeah, it's been good.
You mentioned a moment ago about being a little bit sick since you came back from Thailand. I know my schedule at the moment. I'm in 3 weeks into a 16-week run non-stop. You carry a similar schedule, don't you? Because obviously riding the British Championship, but while there was a weekend off last weekend, you rode that Belgium International. So are you looking at that now and thinking, actually, is there anywhere where you can rest and recuperate, or are you just going to just try and push on and grind through it? Because it is quite a hectic schedule, more so than someone like Cairoli, who only rides World Championship after the Italian International Series.
Yeah, I think it's the way I've been brought up. I've done it every other year, and it's something I enjoy. Last weekend, I came back from having, okay, I didn't get a podium, I didn't win the second race, I wanted to win both of them and come, but doing a little meeting like that and winning the first moto, there's nothing like seeing the checkered flag. And I didn't win at Ling, didn't even win a moto there. So there's nothing, it perks you up. I enjoy it. And I remember someone telling me when I was a bit younger to say, like, go and do a couple of meetings that are a bit more low key. Enjoy yourself. It was really old school, and I enjoyed that.
But touching on that, that's like your dad as well, isn't it? Shaun's dad, Willie, was a former British Championship and Grand Prix racer as well. And back in the day when French international races were, a bit of a moneymaker, guys would go, they'd race the GP or a national championship and then ride for the bank holiday race. And is that something that he's instilled in you as well a little bit? Just say, well, go and race and race and race.
Yeah, definitely. I remember as a kid, riding in Ireland on Sunday, travelling back across for Scotland on Monday, maybe even doing an English international on a Monday. We really enjoy just keeping ourselves busy. And I think especially at this time of year, we're gonna ride on Saturday and Sunday anyway. So you might as well ride Saturday and then race on Sunday, get a couple of starts under your belt, get that adrenaline flowing. And like I said, I wasn't just as sharp as I wanted to be after Ling and Valkenswaard. So last weekend just sharpened me up a little bit again. I got the enjoyment factor out of it. Went home. It's only 45 minutes from where I stay in Belgium, and I came home with a big smile on my face. And that was it.
Little pick me up.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a bit of a pick me up now because last year turned out to be not too bad a season. Got on the podium a bit, won some races, won a couple of Grand Prix.
That's right.
Got these clips here from Lommel and Assen. I guess when you look at these clips, ultimately that's the goal again, isn't it? To get yourself healthy and be challenging for podiums, challenging for Grand Prix victories like this, like these two rounds here, for instance.
Yeah, I think these rounds are obviously to come up, and I'll be looking forward to them. But I still think I can win here, in the sand and Lommel and Assen. But I think I can win anywhere else on the calendar now, and it just needs a few little things to click into place and really start doing the business, as it were. But I think we've got a tough field of riders at the moment, but it's exciting. I quite like the fact that one race you could be third and one race you could be eighth, and if you're eighth or third, you're still battling just as hard. And it's good for TV, it's good for people watching, it's good for the fans. But I think definitely will be looking forward to them sand races.
Keeps you on your toes, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Right, social media. From Andrew Rowlands, 70, he says, are you feeling the pressure more this season, being with a new team, with factory support, or do you think that you have just been unfortunate? I mean, you said you were poorly earlier, so I'm guessing that has something to do with it.
No, I would say there's actually there's no extra pressure. The new team's been absolutely spot on. They've really supported me. They haven't put any pressure on me at all. They just sort of leaving me to do my own thing, taking on board a lot of the things that I've done in the last couple of years, and just sort of really been there behind me, really supported me, and that's one thing I've really enjoyed this year. So it's just using every asset to make an improvement, and I think at the moment we're in a good spot to kind of keep improving week on, week out, and I think give us another couple of weekends and we'll be right up there fighting where I think we should be and where everyone else hopes we should be. So yeah, I think it's good.
Okay. From MX Justin, who's actually watching the studio show now, over there, he's giving us a wave. He says, what's been the key to your consistency in recent years? You said you're famous for it.
Yeah, good question. I don't know. I think I'm 28 years old now.
Getting on a bit.
Yeah. I'm by no means any spring chicken anymore, but there's a couple of guys older than me out there. But you know, I've been through tough years, I've been through tough times, teams that haven't supported me as well as I'd maybe hoped, teams that have supported me well, and you know, I'm in a good position now, and I have been for the last couple of years where, you know, I've got my setup pretty much dialed, suspension, engine, everything's working well, and I've had a few injuries in the past as well, and you get a little bit more smart as you get older, and I think, you know, you ride within your limits. You know when to push, when to back off, when to really pressure a rider in front of you, and I think it's just down to experience,
Yeah.
really. So I think that's probably the key thing is experience, and you know you can't buy that, so you just got to do the time and just keep charging on, really.
All right, well, look, we're almost out of time, Shaun, but we are here in Patagonia. Last year, we got a final clip. Nice little battle between you and Ryan Villapoto. Probably one of the other highlights of your season, I would think, you know, at that time of the year. We've got some great action here, I think like 30, 40 seconds. Talk us through some of this. And how's the track now? Like you say, it was a little bit different, but why is it different now compared to last year?
Last year it obviously just been built, so the ground was a bit looser last year. There seemed to be a few more lines opening up. This year it's actually been able to settle, and the ground's actually a little bit more hard underneath, but taking a wrong line there, really. Ryan's got past me, but I don't know, I think last year I just charged on and, you know, just took Ryan as any other rider. He took a bad line there going too far outside, but this was a great little battle, and something I'd actually looked forward to, because, you know, there was so much hype about Ryan, and you know, the guys up front were battling him week in, week out, and you know, he was slightly back the pack there. I don't know where we're 6th, 7th, 8th, and maybe on the first couple of laps, and yeah,
Great action.
It was just great to just be battling with Ryan, and just seeing him up there and really just having to grit his teeth and
It was a good race last year.
eat
really
some
was.
Simo roast.
Well, look, Shaun, we are out of time, but thanks to our other guest, Alexander Tonkov, and of course Shaun Simpson as well. Of course, we will be live in a couple hours' time with the MX2 and MXGP qualifying races here, and then catch us all on MXGP TV for all the action tomorrow live, of course. All action from MX2 and MXGP. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week in Lyon. Bye-bye.